Welcome back to Car Craze, where today we are driving into the future with a car that brings the past roaring back to life here, the 2026 Jaguar XJS V12. Yes, you heard that right. Jaguar has done something truly audacious. In an era ruled by electrification and digital dashboards, they've revived an icon from their storied past. The XJS is back and it's packing 12 cylinders of pure mechanical symphony. Now, before we even dive under the hood or peel back the leather and carbon fiber interior, we need to talk about what this car means. Jaguar hasn't just launched another luxury coupe. This is a statement piece, a bold, V12-powered rebellion against a world gone quiet. While the automotive landscape is turning into a soft murmur of electric motors and seamless autonomy, the new XJS is here to remind us what passion feels like. The original Jaguar XJS ran from the mid-70s all the way through the 90s, and in its day, it was controversial, dramatic, luxurious and ultimately, unforgettable. It followed in the footsteps of the legendary E-Type, and while it was never quite as universally adored, it carved out its own legacy. That long hood, the swooping lines, and of course, the iconic V12 engine. It was a car you didn't forget once you saw it in motion. And that's exactly the spirit Jaguar has captured for 2026. Let's start with the design. The new XJS is long, low, and elegant, just as it should be. But it's not retro. Jaguar hasn't simply copied and pasted the past. What they've done instead is modernize the essence. The front end carries that unmistakable Jaguar face, but it's stretched wider, with sharp LED matrix headlights that give it a predatory stare. The grille, it's wide, low, and finished in brushed black chrome, flanked by functional intakes that feed cool air to the massive engine underneath. From the side, the proportions are pure GT, a stretched bonnet, a swept-back roofline that melts into a tapered rear deck. The fender arches are pronounced but not exaggerated, housing 21-inch forged alloy wheels wrapped in ultra-low-profile Michelin Pilot Sport rubber. The rear features a subtle ducktail spoiler integrated into the trunk, quad exhausts hinting at what lies beneath, and a thin, uninterrupted LED light strip running across the width of the car. It looks fast standing still. But the beauty of the 2026 XJS isn't skin deep. This car is powered by a hand-assembled 6.1-litre naturally aspirated V12 engine. Yes, naturally aspirated. No turbos. No hybrid assistance. Just raw mechanical muscle. It produces 684 horsepower and 635 pound-feet of torque, sent exclusively to the rear wheels via a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission with a manual mode that actually feels like 0 to 60, just 3.4 seconds. But this car isn't about number, so it's about feel. That V12 is a masterpiece, smooth, ferocious, and rich with character. Jaguar has tuned the exhaust to be musical rather than brutal. At idle, it's a low purr. Get into the throttle, and it builds into a crescendo that's part opera, part thunderstorm. It doesn't scream like a Ferrari, and it doesn't bellow like an American V8. It sings in its own key. Every part of the engine bay has been engineered to celebrate the combustion engine as if it were art. The intake manifold is exposed under a glass panel with the words Final 12 etched in aluminium, a reminder that this may very well be one of the last naturally aspirated V12s we ever see. Step inside, and the interior blends modern technology with old-world charm. Jaguar has gone for a 2+2 layout, but let's be real, those rear seats are more symbolic than functional. The front seats are deep, leather-wrapped thrones with contrast stitching, Alcantara inserts, and magnesium shells. The dash is a flowing combination of open-pore walnut, carbon fiber, and brushed metal. There's a fully digital gauge cluster, yes, but it's customizable to mimic classic analog dials. The center touchscreen is beautifully integrated and not slapped on like an afterthought, but the real magic is in the details. The stop button pulses red like a heartbeat when the car's ready to fire up. The shift lever is a machined aluminium piece that clicks into gear with a satisfying weight. Even the climate control knobs have digital displays inside them but retain the feel of physical engagement. Jaguar hasn't forgotten the joy of tactile interaction. even in a car as high-tech as this. On the road, the XJS feels like it was built for grand touring. It's fast, of course, but it's the composure at speed that really defines it. The adaptive suspension uses twin-valve dampers with AI-enhanced predictive inputs. It reads the road 500 times per second, adjusting the damping accordingly. In comfort mode, it glides over imperfections, isolating you in a cocoon of luxury. Switch to dynamic mode, and it tightens up, becomes more responsive, and lowers the ride height slightly for better aerodynamics. The steering is beautifully weighted and not overly boosted, not artificially heavy. It gives you feedback through your fingertips, reminding you that you're connected to the road. It doesn't dart like a supercar, but it carves corners with fluid precision. The chassis is aluminum intensive, helping to offset the weight of that big V12 up front. And thanks to a rear-wheel steering system, the long wheelbase doesn't hinder agility, it enhances it. One of the most interesting aspects of the 2026 XJS V12 is Jaguar's decision to offer it in very limited numbers. Only 1,200 units will be produced globally, and each one is individually numbered. Buyers can choose from a curated selection of heritage-inspired colors, including British Racing Green, Silver Frost, Carmine Red, and Sapphire Black. Inside, customization is nearly limitless: wood, leather, metal, Alcantara, embroidery. Jaguar's SV12 will even match interior tones to your wristwatch if you ask. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why bring back a V12 now? In a world of Fs and downsized turbo hybrids, what's the logic behind launching a 12-cylinder Grand Tourer in 2026? The answer is simple: emotion. Jaguar knows that the future is electric. In fact, by 2030, their entire lineup is set to be fully electric. But before they close the chapter on internal combustion, they wanted to give it a proper send-off. And what better way than with a car that captures the magic of grand touring, with all the refinement and flair that Jaguar has perfected over the decades. The XJS V12 isn't meant to be practical. It isn't meant to win efficiency awards. It exists purely to stir the soul, to make people turn around as it passes by, to make drivers smile every time they press the start button and hear that V12 come to life. It's a celebration, not a solution. And when it's gone, when the last one rolls off the linear, it'll leave behind a legacy. Like the original, the 2026 XJS will become one of those cars that people talk about for years. The kind of car that shows up at future car meets surrounded by crowds who just want to hear it idle one more time. So, if you ever get a chance to see one in person, do it. If you're one of the lucky few who'll get to drive near, cherish every second, because in the world we're heading toward, cars like this are about to become legends. And with that, we close the book, at least for now, on one of the most passionate, uncompromising cars Jaguar has ever built. The 2026 XJS V12 isn't just a car, it's an experience. It's a memory in motion. Thanks for watching Car Craze, where we don't just review cars, we live them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more journeys into the heart of automotive passion. We'll see you next time.